I know you. You're here for the Sunday coffee talk, baby. So what we're going to talk about really fast is how your 3D world and your 4D world connects. Listen, guys, I know that sounds boring as hell. And I'm going to try to not make it boring for you. I'm really going to try to connect this to you. But listen, once you understand this, whatever you want starts coming in your life rather quickly, okay? Now, the lighting is kind of bad. I'm in Thailand, by the way, and it's kind of been raining the last couple days. So it's morning time. We've got the pups over there. They're being naughty, of course. But if you're new to Sunday Coffee Talk, my name's Chad, by the way. Welcome to Live Life on Your Terms. We have a Sunday Coffee Talk every single Sunday. And this is more of a vlog style. So whatever going on, you're with me here, okay? Now I'm gonna make my coffee while I talk to you, so just give me a second. Now remember, on every Sunday Coffee Talk, we have a Super Thanks Spotlight. And the Super Thanks Spotlight is where you leave a Super Thanks below, as a comment, and you attach a question to it. And that question we talk about every single Sunday. So if you have a deep burning question you want to know about success and manifesting or even health, leave your Super Thanks below and we discuss it on Sundays. Okay? I have the light bulb burnt out up there, so it's a little bit dark over here. So let me get this going and we'll talk about how everything connects, okay, to your 3D world. And I'll be honest with you, like, I didn't know what I was going to talk about today. Okay, I was just going to give you an update on how my week's been. It's been one of those weeks for the Chad. Okay, but what happened was I was trying to think, what do I want to share on Sunday? What do I want to share today? And I don't want to give you too much of the story, but in the middle of the night, I woke up like at 3 a.m. with a stomach ache and I had to go to the bathroom. And so I went to the bathroom, I came back, I couldn't go to sleep right away. And I started thinking about this. I started thinking about how your 3D world and your 4D world connects. And what I mean by that is, listen, you already have what you want. Maybe this is the first time you've heard this. You already have what you want. Okay, my friends? Okay. Maybe you've heard this over and over and over, and you kind of understand it. You kind of get it when people say, well, you already have what you want. Act like it. Okay, now I'm not going to talk about act like it. I'm really going to talk about how it connects. Okay. But trust me on this. Okay, once you really understand this, once you really get it, this speeds up time. Okay. Listen to this. Okay. Now I'll back up a little bit for you guys. Is what I mean by your 3D world. Your 3D world is your world right now. What you can see with your 5 senses: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Okay. Your 3D world is what you're experiencing right now. Okay. And your 4D world is your imagination. Okay, that's what you see in your imagination. That's your 4D. Okay, but what we have to understand here is, listen, your 3D world and your 4D world is interconnected. They're not separate. Okay, they're not separate entities. It's all connected to us because, listen, all of us are consciousness. So within consciousness, everything is connected. Okay. So listen, like the issue we have with all this stuff, even in health, is from little on up, when we go through the school system, go through college. I know this because I've been through college, master's degree, and health and stuff like that, nutrition. And listen, the biggest dogma in health is everybody's treated, or everybody is taught that everything is separate. When we talk about the body, like for example, if you have a disease, if you have an issue with your lungs, you think you only have an issue with your lungs. But listen, all your body systems are interconnected. So it's affecting all your body systems. It's not just affecting one area. You understand? Like we kind of get this, but we really don't get it. Okay? And it's true in consciousness. It's true in manifesting. Okay? So, my coffee is done here. So that's a little bit of history of what we're going to talk about. Okay, your 3D world and your 4D world are interconnected. Your 3D, what you can see right now, what you're experiencing right now, is interconnected to your imagination. That's your 4D world. What you can see in your imagination is your 4D. They're both interconnected. They're not separate. Okay, my friends? And let me give you some examples, strong examples here. Okay, because listen, this is what I'm saying. If this is true, if they are interconnected, your 3D and 4D, this is why I tell you, whatever you want, you already have. You know, this is why this becomes true. Listen, if you're trying to manifest your dream car, your dream house, you can see it in your imagination. This is why I tell you my other videos. If you can see it in your imagination, you can have it. You already have it because it's interconnected. It's connected to you. You already experienced it. Okay, you experienced it in your 4D. It just hasn't moved to your 3D yet. You understand? Okay, but let me give you some strong, like really strong examples here. Okay, I'll give you an example from Neville Goddard, and I'll give you an example from the Bible. Okay, how your 3D and your 4D is interconnected. Okay, listen, if you love Neville Goddard or you know a lot about Neville Goddard, you're gonna understand this 100%. The dogs are eating right below me, like right there. Happy coffee talk time, baby. Okay. Let's sit down and focus here for a second. Okay, briefly, let's talk about Neville Goddard. Okay, now listen, when Neville Goddard was being mentored by Abdullah, okay, and most of you know really into Neville Goddard, you know the story. You know the story how Neville Goddard, he wanted to travel to Barbados, go back to Barbados around the holidays, it was at Christmas time, because he hasn't been back to Barbados for a long time. But when he wanted to go back, he lived in New York at the time. It was during the Great Depression, and he had no money. Because back then, Neville Goddard was a dancer during the Great Depression. Nobody wanted to hire a dancer. Okay, so he was dead broke. He had no money to go back to Barbados. And this is around the time he met Abdullah. So Abdullah taught him how to go inside your imagination, see yourself traveling to Barbados. You're in Barbados. You're experiencing Barbados in your imagination. Okay. Abdullah taught him that, you know, when you're walking the streets of New York, pretend you're walking the streets of Barbados. Okay, when you lay down at nighttime in your bed to go to sleep in New York, pretend you're laying in your bed in your home in Barbados. Okay, so Neville Goddard was doing all this, guys. He was doing all this. So to continue on after that little intermission by Lucky the dog, that Neville Goddard's brother sent him money out of the blue to get a steamer ticket to travel from New York to Barbados, to go home for the holidays, just out of the blue. His brother didn't know anything, didn't know what Neville Goddard was up to. Neville Goddard didn't ask family, whatever. Just out of the blue. That's how he got to Barbados, is his brother sent him money. Okay. And the day before Neville Goddard left, he went down to the steamer ship. I don't know what they called it back then. to take the boat across from New York to Barbados, that to make sure he could get the ticket and stuff like that. And he was really excited because he was getting to go to Barbados. He was super excited. But when he went to get his ticket, they said, well, you can't travel first class. You got to travel third class. Okay. Now remember back then, they had first class, second class, third class, stuff like that. Okay. So Neville Goddard didn't care. He was like, okay, I'll go third class. I don't care. At least as long as I get to go home, as long as I get back to Barbados, who cares how I get to Barbados? Okay. And he was super excited. And he's ran back to Abdullah to tell Abdullah. He was so excited to tell Abdullah that, hey, I'm getting to go to Barbados. Hey, like all the stuff you taught me worked. Okay. Now, the little thing I left out of the story here is Neville Goddard's original imagination, how he got to Barbados, is that he traveled first class. He traveled first class in his imagination. That's how he got to Barbados, inside his imagination. But that was not happening. So when we went and got a steamer ticket, they said, you can't go first class. You got to go third class. But Neville Goddard was excited no matter what. So anyway, he ran back to Abdullah. He thought Abdullah would be excited for him. Abdullah was angry. Abdullah was pissed off. And Abdullah didn't even entertain it. He didn't even entertain what Neville Goddard was saying. He said, Neville, like he's actually, I believe how Neville Goddard told his story, he's actually, pretend this is a doorway, pretend there's a door here. Neville's standing like here, talking to Abdullah. Abdullah is standing here outside his door. Okay. And he's standing outside his door. And Abdullah is like, Neville, what in the hell are you talking about? You already been to Barbados. You already been there and you came back. And when you went first class. You didn't go third class. You went first class because you were already there. And he literally just turned around and just slammed the door. And that made Neville Goddard think. Okay. And listen, that should make you think. Why would Abdullah say that? Why would Abdullah get angry and say, you were already there, Neville. You already went to Barbados and you went first class. You didn't go third class. Okay. Why would Abdullah say this? Okay. This is something maybe you've missed. Listen, Abdullah said this because, listen, your 3D world and your 4D world is interconnected. Listen, what you see in your 4D, what you see in your imagination, you have to experience. Okay? You have to experience just like you see it. Okay? That's what Abdullah was meaning. Is you inside Neville's imagination, he went to Barbados first class. So what Abdullah was saying, don't entertain the third class. You went first. Back for part 2. Intermission part 2, dealing with the puppies. So what ended up happening is that Neville Goddard the next day, when he finally went back to go on the steamer ship, he went first class. It actually happened, how he envisioned it in his imagination. So what Abdullah was really just teaching Neville is what you see in your imagination has to happen, has to occur, but don't contradict it. Don't change your mind because what you see has to occur. Okay? Because your 3D, listen, and your 4D is interconnected. Understand? Meaning what even Abdullah was saying, listen how deeper how Abdullah was saying. He said, Neville, you were already there. You were already in Barbados and you came back. And when you went first class. Meaning that Neville already had what he wanted. He already experienced it. It's the same way for you. You already have what you want. The same way for me, I already have what I want because I've experienced it in my imagination. So it has to occur. The time lapse is from your 4D to your 3D where you actually experience real life. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, let me give you another example really fast from the Bible. Now, this one I thought about last night when I had my tummy ache. Is I was thinking back to the Bible, and I was thinking when when God gave the 10 Commandments, and one of the commandments was, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." Okay. Then, if you read about adultery in the Bible, it goes deep. It goes, listen. It goes, even if you. I'm gonna paraphrase. I'm gonna butcher it, but oh well. You get my point. Is okay. Adultery is an imaginal act. Okay, adultery isn't just a physical act. Like in the Bible, it said, if you imagine yourself having an affair with somebody else, you've committed adultery. Okay, it's in there. I'm just paraphrasing, just saying it different. Okay, so why would that be? Okay, like why would God, he sets the 10 commandments, listen guys, if you're not committing adultery, physically committing it, okay, but you only think about it, why would God say this? Why would God say, well, even if you think about it, you've already committed it? It makes you think. You understand? I'm not saying it makes you think spiritual wise. Okay, this isn't a spiritual seminary talk on the Bible, but it makes you think because listen, when we start connecting the 3D and 4D, what God is doing in this scripture, he's connecting it. He's connecting your 3D world and your 4D world. He's basically with adultery in your 3D world, that's you actually committing the act. And he's saying, no, thou shalt not commit adultery. But then he takes it a step further. He says, even if you think about it, even if you imagine it, it's still adultery. So now when you think about it and imagine it, that's your 4D world. Ooh, that should be powerful for you. So what this means in consciousness is your 3D and your 4D are interweaved, interconnected. Okay. Listen, guys, what you're experiencing in your imagination, what you're experiencing in your 4D world is yours. It's a real experience. You just don't have it in your 3D yet. There's a time lapse where it's catching up to you. Okay. That's why I said you already have what you want, baby. Once you really kind of get this, okay, it speeds up everything. You already have what you want. If you want your dream car, if you can imagine you already have your dream car, you're sitting in it, you're driving it to your best coffee shop, you're driving it to the gym, it's already yours. You already have it because you already experienced it. And listen, how you experience it in your imagination, eventually you have to experience in your 3D world. It's already yours. Okay, you want your dream life. Your dream life is already yours. You have to get that. You truly have to understand this. This is why this information takes a little bit of time. Okay, because it takes time to kind of sink in when you finally just get it. Okay, I'll tell you a third story. Okay, this is about me. I'm gonna stand up and walk around. But the dog, Lucky's the brown one. He's being ornery this morning. Okay. Listen, Ang and I are getting ready to move to Bangkok and buy a house. Right now, we're up in Surin. We've been up in Surin for a little bit over a year now. Okay, a year and a couple months, something like that. Okay, so in my imagination, I even told Ang in my imagination, okay, I'm moving from Surin When we go to Bangkok, we're looking at houses and buying a house and moving everything from Seren into the house. Okay, that's my imagination. Okay, that's my imaginal act, my imaginal scene. Okay, shortened a little bit, not to bore you to death with it. Okay, but since it's taken a little bit more time, we're getting everything ready, Aang's getting anxious and stuff like that. And then plus we got drama in the village, and I don't want to go into all that, you know, just like village life drama. And the drama is worse for Aang than me because I don't speak conversational Thai. You know what I mean? Aang understands everything, but she's Thai. Okay. So then the last couple days, she's been talking about, well, why don't we just go to Bangkok first? Why don't we just go and rent a place in Bangkok? That way we're there and we can just go right now. You know, we can just go in a week, whatever, and just go find a place, rent for a few months, then look around Bangkok, look for a house and do it that way. Okay. Because she's just eager to kind of get out. Okay. But I kind of been thinking about it, kind of been pondering it. Okay. But listen, it contradicts with my imaginal act. Okay. My imaginal scene I've been doing for the last 2 months. Okay. How we're traveling to Bangkok, how we're going to take the VIP bus there to go down to Bangkok, go over to her sisters and brother-in-law's place, stay with them. He's going to drive us around to different spots we want to go and look. Then we're going to pick a place, buy it. Boom. Okay. Even in my imaginal act, I have where we're standing there, like I'm holding her, and then we're taking a picture of the house behind us. Something like that, something cheesy like that. Okay. Okay. Listen, my imaginal scene wasn't go to Bangkok and rent a house. Okay. So that's kind of like a contradiction. That's kind of like going back to Neville Goddard's story when Neville Goddard got super excited about, oh my God, I can still go to Barbados, but I got to go third class. Then Abdullah said, no. You already been to Barbados, baby. You were already there and you traveled first class. So don't contradict. What Abdullah was saying is don't contradict your imaginal scene. Don't contradict what you want. Okay. So that's what made me think about this, is because when Aang, when I just go rent a place, it contradicted my imaginal scene. Okay. Makes sense. And what she wants, I mean, it totally makes sense. Okay. It's totally logical. You understand? But it contradicts my imaginal scene. It contradicts what I said. Then listen, to take it a step further, if we say the 3D and the 4D is interweaved, it's within consciousness, okay, what that means is my 4D world, my imaginal scene, it's already happened, it's already occurred, I already experienced it. It already happened just like I said it would inside my imagination. There's just a lag in there. Okay, it's the lag period. You don't see anything happening. It's the lag is what makes people quit or makes people change their mind. Okay. Because you might be saying, well, Chad, if you've been with me this long in this video, you might be saying, well, Chad, you know, I imagine a stuff all the time and it doesn't come true. It's because you change your mind, you contradict the state. You don't persist in your assumption. You don't persist in it. Okay, you change your mind. You lower your goals. That's what's going on, my friends. But anyway, kind of to sum up my story is I've already experienced it. I already have my house. I already bought my house, baby. Okay, and I bought my house from traveling from here, taking a VIP bus to Bangkok, going from there with Aang to her sister's and brother-in-law's place. We spend the night there. We get up. We spend a few days looking at developments and stuff like that. We pick one we like and we buy. That's what's happened in my imagination. And there's a money factor in there too. Okay? That's all done. That's all taken place. I've experienced it. It's already mine. It's already happened. That's why I even tell you, you already have what you want because you've already experienced it in your 4D. So, to sum up this coffee talk here, you have to have, listen guys, you have to have the total belief that your 3D, 4D world is interweaved. You have to have the total confidence that you already have what you want. You already have what you want. You've already experienced it because you experience it in your imagination. That's why Neville Goddard said, persist in your assumption, and your assumption always turns into a fact. Okay? He even went a step further and he said, he's never seen the law of assumption fail. He's never seen it fail. As long as you persist, no matter how long it takes, you persist in your assumption, it always turns into a fact. You always get what you want. Because listen, you always get what you want because once you see your imagination, you already have it. You've already experienced it. It's already yours. That's your confidence, is that it's already mine. Okay? But listen, if you really have the confidence that it's already yours, okay, wouldn't you just naturally carry yourself different? The dogs are chasing each other. You understand? If I just really totally believed what I saw in my imagination, it's mine, I already experienced it, and I was totally confident in it, wouldn't it make life so simple? Okay, I wouldn't be telling myself like, I have to act as if I am the most successful version of me. You understand? I wouldn't be thinking that stuff because if I'm just totally confident in it, I totally believe it's already mine because I already experienced it. When I would wake up, I would just totally act like that version of me, just naturally. See them chasing each other in the morning? 3 of them. And they've been ornery this morning. Okay. Because that's how you speed it up. That's why you have to act like the most successful version of you. That's why everyone tells you, even living in the end is acting like the most successful version of you. You already have what you want. You want your dream house. You already have it right now. So act like it. That's why Neville Goddard said that stuff. Okay. That's why Neville Goddard coined that when you go to sleep at night, you go inside your imagination, your imaginal scene of what you want. When you wake up in the morning, you act as if you already have what you want. Because it already happened. It already happened in your 3D world. Or not, your 4D world. It already happened. You already experienced it. It's already yours, baby. Okay? You just have to have the confidence in it. But other than that, friends, if not, I'm going to start talking on loop here. The video is a little bit longer than I thought, but this is a coffee talk. This is more of a vlog style. So, and we got the dogs running around in the morning. Usually I'm the only one awake in the morning. So, I'm letting the dogs out. We got 3. Sometimes they do good. Sometimes they're just ornery in the morning. I gotta go and see what they're doing. This week has been this is, I think, the first video I filmed this whole week because I've been migrating all my websites from one hosting to another. Usually I don't let hosting do it because they make too many mistakes. Like this week, they broke one of my websites. So it takes forever to go through their flipping tech stuff. So then I did that yesterday. Took me all day to fix the website that they broke. So that's what I've been doing all week. This should be the last day of doing it. I got everything migrated. Just have to double check everything, finalize stuff. So this should be the last day to do that kind of stuff. But that's what I've been working on all week, was more of the migration, the site migrations. So that way, if you go to my websites or whatever, they might be down, they might look weird, just for a short time being. But anyway, tribe, remember, I love you guys, and hang in there. Don't give up. Don't quit. Listen, even if life give you lemons. This is like, it's kind of like the cliche. Life give you lemons, you make lemonade. But it's so true. It's so corny, but it's so true. Okay. No matter what life throws at you, you have to understand that life is happening for you, for your benefit. Okay. It takes a while to see that. You understand? And this is a topic for a whole nother video. Like lot of us, when we go through something negative that we want to, like we're trying to manifest our dream house, but then all of a sudden everything's going great, and all of a sudden you might lose your job. You know what I mean? Or if you're an entrepreneur, you might lose a source of income. Maybe you have multiple streams of income. You know what I mean? And maybe you might lose a source of income that's maybe a bigger chunk of that income. You understand? But what you can't do, you can't perceive those things as negatives, okay? Because life is happening for you. And I love this because what you have to understand is, if you want your dream house, the version of you that has your dream house, the version of you that's in your 4D is in your imagination. If you kind of just play with me here for a second, you go inside your imagination. Who are you? You understand? You're the most successful version of you who has your dream house. But I bet you the reason why you got fired from your job is because that most successful version of you who has your dream house has a different career. They have a different job. Ooh, you understand? So this stuff gets deep, okay? Because listen, your old self, your current self, isn't going to take you to your dream house. It's not going to take you to your dream life, okay? Okay, once you set an assumption, once you set something you want, the bridge of incidents happens. It forms right away. You know, things start working in your favor, and some things everything's working in your favor, but some things we perceive as a negative, like if we lose our job. Because listen, we had to lose your job. You had to lose your job. Don't fight it. It had to happen to you, because the universe knows, God knows, that you had to get fired from your job in order for you to move on. You understand? You got to stop looking at negative things as negative, and you got to start looking at it as life is happening for me. Life is happening for my benefit, my friends. But other than that, tribe, I'm going to get off on another really tangent of part 2 to the Sunday Coffee Talk. Maybe that would be fun. But remember, I love you, and I'll see you next Sunday. Peace out. Have a blessed week.